What's up, guys? And today's video is going to be some kind of brainstorming video where I'm going to go over and kind of brainstorm like a few scenarios how Bitcoin could be moving for the next weeks and months. And I just want to explain why I think that this could happen and just pre-plan some different kinds of price actions. So just that you guys and also just do it for myself that um, we're kind of prepared and ahead of what's coming next. So as you guys know, we've kind of had like this model one accumulation that we longed, and since then price expanded aggressively, and then we kind of got into sideways range where we had our expansion phase to the upside where I longed again, but now we've seen a bigger pullback to downside where I actually ended up getting stopped out for profit around here. Maybe in hindsight, I would have been smarter if I kept my stop loss, like if I really adjusted it to break even, or maybe if I moved it to my initial low. But it is what it is now. As of now, like a quick local update, we kind of got this supply above here that we created on Friday, and below us we got our demand. So we're still like in this local uptrend, so there is still some hope that, or some chance that we take out this range high. However, right now it kind of depends on um, how we react, how we react from the supply as well as from the demand. So we gotta see what price is doing there. So um, yeah, that's a question for later. I want to talk about the high temperature price action, like my expectations are, and also how I'm going to trade depending on what's going to happen. So the first scenario that I kind of got in mind is that we could get like a reaction from the supply maybe coming into Sunday or Monday. Then we get a bounce or a dump into our 786 Fibonacci level combined with our um, volume gap kind of around here. As you guys can see, like we get this huge spikes, and this is like um, I mean it's not low, not a low volume node, but compared to these, it is kind of so. We could get a we could get a potential bounce from here, and then I would expect kind of like a quicker move to the upside, like an expansion like this. And what this would do is first we would stick more sales like liquidity to the downside that the market makers need to push price aggressively down again later on. As you guys can see, we had the same around here. Like, of course, we expand higher first, but as you guys can see, we've been just like we're leaving this cluster of cells of liquidity, and price later ends up coming back for these and quickly grabs all of those. So um, that's definitely going to happen again soon. And let me just clean this up quickly. So with these lines. Oh, so yeah. What I would kind of expecting for now is I mean, again, it depends on how we react, but I'm just going to go over all the scenarios that I get mine. So first of all, kind of get like this rejection, this bounce, take out this range high, then go a little higher, taking out this remaining buy side liquidity around here, and then start distributing or kind of manipulating above this range high, maybe creating some kind of pure free, maybe even going up to all the way up to 72K, who knows? But for now, I would kind of expect like a um, move to the range high and then some kind of manipulation around here, and then maybe get something like this. Like this would be the expansion phase. I mean, I can do it. Well, let's do it properly. So this would be kind of our range. This would be our manipulation, and this would be our expansion. Maybe going to 55k expansion. And here, what I would be expecting is kind of a lower high that's also like generating bicycle liquidity on a high time frame because we know that we are currently starting like potential bigger accumulation range around here that could actually like that is probably going to be the bottom for our next cycle. So what I would be expecting is kind of like a move lower, creating more price of liquidity for later, and maybe get another lower high around here, and then in the end take out these lows again to start like the next accumulation phase. That's I don't know going to be a little longer around here. So that's kind of like my first idea for now. Kind of like what I would like the most personally, but of course the market always does what it wants. The second scenario, what I kind of got in mind is that if price ends up going lower, and I would say kind of yeah failing through this supply, starting to take this source of liquidity, I would kind of expect some cascade event where we end up going at least to 61k, and then we get a few demand POISP lows. However, I wouldn't expect much to be honest. And like we got this 2 hour demand around here. I think it's also like I'm not sure what time frame it was. There's for sure going to be some reaction from it. However, I'm not really expecting some major reversal from here because it's like already way too deep into the range. Like as you guys can see that I removed smaller profile, we don't need it. As you guys can see, price has accumulated around here and wait, around here, and now like we're not really seeing any follow through. It's kind of like more some kind of distribution in that sense. So if we also look like at the price action compared to what happened before versus compared to now, you can clearly see like this difference between accumulation and distribution, where this first section of the range was like the accumulation, and this second section of the range was like the distribution phase, where market makers are offloading their position that they accumulate around here. So if we tend to fail through like fail if this demand fails and we start grabbing this sell side, I'm definitely expecting a dump lower. And after that, to be honest, we're going to have like this bigger supply creation around here, and I would expect like a small move up, and then to be honest, at this point, it just wouldn't make sense to come back from here. Price doesn't move like that. At this point, I would expect the price to take out this low, and actually, this wouldn't be too bad. Like, of course, I wouldn't get a short around here, and also my long around here wouldn't take hit the full TP around there, but that would be fine. Because if we like, as we know from the previous, um, well, I'll just check my sound. Yeah, everything's fine. As you guys know from the previous cycle low, what price did was like we distributed around here, had supply respected, but what happened is that we started creating this high time frame price of liquidity that is close to each other. Like I'm not talking about these giant moves like where here, yes, this is buy side, but look how far this buy side is. So it's not really like some cluster that we want to see. This is more like what we kind of need for a high time reversal, because in the end, how does price move? Price ranges or expands. So um, market makers are accumulating around here, and then if we get all these stop loss around here, it's easier for them to move price. Like the market makers and the algorithms are programmed for the most efficiency, like to move price efficiently. And the easiest way to move price quickly from point A to B is by triggering a, um, like a huge amount of stop loss to move their price in the desired direction. So if we get all these stop loss located around here, like all these sell orders, and again the buy order is no, the sell orders got stop losses that are going to be now how was it? Yeah, are going to be buy limit orders, no, buy market orders. Like if you want, if you put no, sorry guys, if you're short, you place a stop loss, and that stop loss is a buy market order because you are hedged against the market. So that means if these sellers get stopped out, their stop loss becomes a buy market order, and that in the end pushes price up. Like that's why you guys can see like these huge moves, and um, again it's the same for here. Like all this, all these shorts are buy market orders. So like if they get stopped out, so that's why these fast moves happen. So coming back to where we're now, this would be kind of like the start for our bigger range where we start creating this price liquidity for a future reversal, and then maybe I don't know, stack like some more, get like some like swan event around here, so I don't know, accumulate max fear, and then start nuking price to the upside, barely get any retest, and yeah, then start like the full reverse to the upside. So um, that would be kind of what I would be expecting to happen. Let me just clean this a little up. Um, so yeah, that would be kind of like the second scenario that I got in mind. And to be honest, these are like the two main cases that I would be expecting to happen. Of course, there's a possibility that we end up dumping and then pumping. However, these moves doesn't happen, like rarely happen on such a huge time frame. Like I could see this happening on like the 1 hour time frame or like the 50-minute time frame, but not on like such a huge time frame. Like this range is even valid on the daily time frame. These manipulation phases are like way too big and large to just do like these takeouts. So that's not something um, that I would really be expecting from now. Um, Again, like I said, you guys can see clearly see like the difference in price action. I mean, if I go to USDT, I marked it out that here we had our distribution, so it's the accumulation on the market, and here we have like our current accumulation, that is the distribution on the market. So as you guys can see, like we clearly deviate the range from here. So here kind of had our Wyckoff model to distribution. And again, we're not seeing any flow through to the upside. Like usually this distribution should offer like a quick expansion to downside, taking a low, but as you guys can see, price is stalling around, not really breaking lower, and kind of doing the opposite, like we are accumulating. It even looks like some sort of more than one accumulation, while leaving all this buy side above. So in that sense, it's looking more bullish than bearish to me. But again, I mean, of course, we can look for longs here, so that means shorts on the market. Like we get this nice demand PI, what equals to the short PI on Bitcoin. So we can definitely watch this for potential shorts. And again, what could also happen, we have like this bigger demand. I mean, okay, it's a little low, but what again could happen is like the pure free idea, where we kind of like deviate this main range low, manipulate and then expand to the upside. And then I could also see us like maybe even going lower, maybe like going into the demand break structure back to bullish, and then I don't know, long like this demand retest to send price back higher to eventually hit the, yeah, probably we're going to hit around 10%. At least we're going to hit this target, and then yeah, 11% maybe. Yeah, maybe around that would make sense. So we gotta see what happens, but I'm definitely not expecting the low to get taken. Like it does make sense. Price clearly accumulate around here while leaving all this spice above. We have this. I mean, on the low time frame, it's not really clean, but on the high time frame, it's overlapping structure demand. Um, I mean, the POC doesn't matter too much. Okay, it's down here, so um, doesn't really matter. But I'm I'm not expecting price to simply go low. Like it doesn't make sense from price action standpoint. This range is clearly showcasing accumulated behavior, and it's going to get continued around here. I was kind of making a comparison to oil. If I just open this up quickly, and as you guys know, if you have taken or trade oil, like we had this yearly, this 3 year long accumulation range, creating this overlapping structural demand and price aggressively dumped into it and then delivered one of the most insane reactions that I've seen in a while. Delivering fruits. Wait, did they get more? They have almost a 40% move. And if you guys kind of compare it, like, of course, we didn't distribute here, but again, if you compare it to UCT, it's kind of the same where we have like this. If we clean this out, or we have like this accumulation around here, and price is currently like slowly trending down, and eventually, I know we should continue higher. So so yeah, these are my main scenarios that I'm kind of like looking for, and depending on what we get, we're going to trade it. Like, of course, we don't predict, we prepare. So I'm really excited to see what happens. Like, it's already almost August, so I mean, the predicted cycle low is around October, November, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens coming into it. Um, there's only a few months left if actually like the um, cycle time repeats itself again. But yeah, time will tell. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys for the next one. So peace.